Hi everyone, so we're going to talk about how to practice chords without getting frustrated, and this is a big topic. So we're not going to cover all the chords. Obviously, we're going to cover the ones that cause the problems and cause the frustration. As a teacher, what I see is a lot of G to C. Funny enough, D minor that give me trouble doesn't seem to give my students trouble, but then these days it's not popping up the way it used to. But definitely, what you need to do is make sure you sort your common chord changes that you need the most. Right, so there are changes you need the most and ones you don't really need right now, and knowing which ones makes it much more enjoyable learning and gets you on to songs a lot sooner. So you need a G and C, there's no question about it. You need an E minor and a C, and you need C to D as a starting point. There are others obviously that come up. You also need the F as well, C to F, and A minor's in there too. Now that'll give you stacks and stacks of songs. Now, how to not get frustrated? Well, the reason you get probably getting frustrated is because you're doing them randomly. Don't learn them randomly, learn them in order. If you learn them in order, you're going to feel motivated and you're going to go, all right, I've got that one right, on to the next one. Now, the problem these days is not having structure, and too many people online are just guessing. They're just trying to swing it, and it's not working. And the reason it's not working is because they haven't got a process. So my process when I'm teaching and in my course, Chord Flow Accelerator, in my Get Playing Accelerator program, and everything I do is completely structured. And my advice would be to go G, E minor, right? So we've got an anchor finger here. You're not going to get frustrated if you can learn to keep that one on. You get those two pretty quickly. Then when we move to C, that stays as your anchor finger. An anchor finger is just a connecting note that's in both chords. That's all it is. So you're here, that goes down, that goes down. We don't have any because D is a different shape. But working on those four chords, you don't jump in and try and do a song with. You don't do that. Do something that has the changes in that order. Stand By Me, the first two chords are G and E minor. Oasis Songbird, G and E minor. Then take a part of a song like in, let's see. Well, what I would say is don't jump from song to song. Make sure you do get a song down first. Master one chord change before you go on to the next. But something like E minor, C, G, D is such a common change as well. So all you want to do is get that E minor to C as your next one in line. And usually one of the hardest ones is going to be C to D. And mainly because they're so completely different. Now, you can lay down, one tip I'll give you on that, lay down the D as a D6 and add that third finger on. That's the way I always teach it. And it always speeds the whole thing up for all my students and the guys in my courses as well. So, C to D, and then that big one. When you do get used to playing a four finger G, you'll notice that third finger will become an anchor. That's the D note that's in the D chord and the G chord. All right. So that's the whole thing. Make sure that you're learning everything in order. That's what we need to do. So to cut down the frustration, my biggest tip is learn everything in the right order. Right? Learn your chords in the order that makes it easier, so you're going to be motivated, and learn them in the order that's going to make it easier to get on the songs quickly. So you're not jumping around randomly trying, or really love, say, Bob Dylan, the times they are changing. Brilliant song, but fast chord changing, too much for you at the start. I ask my students to give me a list when they're working with me, and I say, what songs do you want to learn? As soon as they give me the list, say 10 songs, I prioritize them and tell them, right, that's on the back burner, that's on the back burner, we can tackle that one's going to have to wait. That's the way it should be. Everything needs to be in order. Randomly jumping from one thing to the other is just wasting time. You're costing yourself precious time. So if you're interested in structure and doing this right and saving so much time, check out the link in the top comment where you've got the Chord Flow cheat sheet and my Chord Flow Accelerator program. And there's also the Get Playing Accelerator program. If you really want to get in and have a guided structure, it's going to take you all the way to intermediate, which is taking you right through everything you could possibly want to learn all the way up to intermediate. You're not going to miss out on anything at all. Check it out as well. But in the meantime, do watch my other videos. I really appreciate it if you could subscribe, and I hope you found this helpful and you've got some real good guidance from this. And if you have any questions about structure or a plan or what to do and you're feeling really stuck, pop a comment in below and I'm happy to reply and give you some tips. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.